Welcome to Settling's Not an Option. I'm Adam Nebbs and I'm here with my co-host Amanda Stanhope. This show is for anyone out there who feels like they've settled for an unfulfilling life. Whether you've settled in a relationship, the work that you do, or how you feel about yourself, we're here to tell you that settling's not an option. If you are liking the show, please follow us on Spotify or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any feedback about the show or want to recommend a topic, you can email us at cheerstoNotSettling@gmail.com. Finally, to conclude the plug, if you feel so inclined, you can donate to us on Coffee, where we're aiming to buy some new audio equipment. I probably also need some more lighting equipment.
I was just going to say, maybe the lighting equipment is going to come first.
Maybe lighting first, guys. There's a lot of opportunity areas here at Snow, at least in
Right.
Australia. I think the US version's going okay. So we've got another guest this week who I'm very excited to speak to. I've already stalked her LinkedIn profile in a non-creepy way. But yeah, we've been waiting to speak with Tammy for a long time now. And just to give you a little bit of a snapshot, Tammy Williams is a teaching assistant who works in a nurture group, and she offers support and advice to primary school children who have difficulty expressing their emotions. She's also trained in mental health first aid for both adults and children and is working on becoming a well-being coach. So welcome to the show, Tammy.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, so excited. I feel like we've known you forever, but we really don't know anything about you. So I can't wait to find. I feel like I know you, but I don't. So I can't wait to find out what's going on in Tammy's world. So
Lots. First of all, it's not Tammy Williams anymore. I got married. It's Tammy Rowe.
Oh, there we go. Correction number one.
I think I remember messaging one of you saying, "I've got married."
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
awesome.
We've told you about 10. You've told us about 10 times now. So
No, it's all right. Children still call me Williams at school, so it's okay.
No, yeah. Congratulations on the marriage, by the way.
Yeah, we finally got there. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
So where did you get married?
We got married in a little place called Adlington, which is in Macclesfield in the UK.
Okay.
There was only
nice.
9 of us there due to all these COVID restrictions, but it was very intimate and it was a very special day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
nice.
perfect.
Yeah.
Had you planned to have many more people there? Like if COVID hadn't hit, would it been a bigger wedding or?
There should have been 50 there
Oh.
altogether, so we really did scale it down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But even
that's-
50 is pretty intimate, but that's
Yeah.
perfect, I think. Yeah, the smaller the
Yeah.
better, I think.
Definitely. All the
Yeah.
main people that we wanted there was there, so
Yeah, exactly.
it was
Awesome.
a lovely day. It rained all day. Typical British weather, but it was beautiful.
I was going to say, from what I'm hearing, it rains all the time there. So,
It does. We
I'm
do have
starting to
glimmers
learn
of
that.
sunshine. There is more sunshine lately than rain.
good.
That's good. Yeah. Of course, when COVID's, restricting movement and stuff, it's like, oh, thanks for that, Mother Nature. That's great.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Tammy, just to hit you with the deep, big question to start off with, in true S&O style, can you tell us about your journey and how you chose not to settle?
Oh gosh. I think since becoming a mum 14 years ago, I'd volunteered at a local hospital because I've always known that I wanted to do some form of care, but I was never sure how I wanted to care, whether it was to physically care for someone or mentally care for someone. So
Okay.
I've gone through a big spectrum of different jobs. So I've volunteered at a local hospital, I've done befriending at a nursing home, volunteered at schools, decided to train as a TA, so I went to university to do a teaching assistant course. So then while I was doing the training, I thought, well, I'll go into being a dinner lady and working in a school that way to
Okay.
see if I enjoy that. And I enjoyed it, but I got itchy feet, so I completely switched it and went as a board member at a local housing association for 2 years to see how things on that side worked and to see if I could help the community and people that lived local.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started doing reading at a local church. I became a safeguarding officer because I thought, well, I'll try and help people through faith.
Sure.
Volunteered in high schools because I thought, well, maybe primary school isn't for me. Maybe the older children are for me.
Right.
So I volunteered in high schools, and then I've worked at different titles in different settings within schools. So I've worked in special needs schools. I've done learning mentoring, and I think learning mentoring was the start of something, because I was able to connect with children that were struggling in class and just give them a voice and to listen. So the school I'm at now gave me an opportunity to be trained in nurture to help children with attachment issues, social and emotional difficulties. So for the last year and a bit, I've been doing that, and hopefully in October we'll get a qualification to say that I'm a nurture group practitioner.
Awesome.
But it's just, there's so many children that are coming through primary school doors that are not understanding the world as we know it and struggle. And I just want to help them to understand it a little bit better than they did before. But I'm getting itchy feet again, because I feel like nurture, I can go further with nurture. So this is why I'm looking into being a wellbeing coach for not just children, but for adults too, because having a background, what mine's like, I believe that I can help a lot more people than just children. So that's where I'm at. That's why I've been flitting from different things. I think I've dabbled in every sector, but I'm kind of settling, but not, if that makes any sense.
No, for sure. Yeah. Well, I don't think it doesn't sound like you're settling at all to me, but
No.
which is awesome.
I love to stay busy. I love to be creative. I love gardening, or just bringing smiles to people's faces or children's faces, or just being a bit of positivity in someone's day.
Sure.
Love
absolutely.
it. Awesome.
So do you feel the reason that you're getting itchy feet, I guess, is because you've learned as much as you can with the children? Or...
I don't think you can ever learn as much as you can with children. You get so many complex issues through the door. I feel like I can help them more than I am doing. I want to take it bigger. I want to go wider. I want to be able to get them when they're a lot younger than primary school. So nursery, or getting the adults and helping the adults to understand the world a bit better so they can explain it to the children, so that when they do come to primary school, they're in a mentally stabler place than what they would have been.
Gotcha. So the wellness coaching would still be with children as well, but maybe even like whole families, maybe it sounds like?
Yeah, families, communities, to help one another. I think in the time that we're in at the moment, I think community spirit is really needed, and it picks a lot of people up. Just knowing that you've got a neighbour that's going to check on your house, or someone that's probably going through a really tough time, and you've got someone that can be there for them. They're just bigger, wider, as many people as I can while I'm on this planet. To just
That's awesome. Now, where does that drive come from? Do you know where that drive comes from?
I don't know. I've always been a person that I've always looked after someone, whether it's my mum, my nan, past partners, children. I've always been someone that feels that I've been put on a planet to look after or to care for someone or to make them feel a bit better.
Okay.
So I think it comes from the gut. I think that's what my purpose is in life, to help as many people as I can.
Yeah, because it seems like you keep coming back to that answer. Like every path you've gone down, your gut keeps telling you, you need to go a little bigger. You need to go a little bigger. It sounds like. Is that fair to say?
Yes, definitely.
And you've been listening, so that's amazing.
Yes. Well, I've been doing a wellbeing course for the last 11 weeks with the Art of Brilliance, and I think a lot of what I've learned in that has sat well with me, and it's just reaffirmed where I want to be and where I want to go. I only realised I wanted to become a wellbeing coach from doing a hugs and sugs chart. Random thing in the world, I've never even heard of it, but you do a pyramid and you do small goals, and your biggest goal is right at the top. So the wellbeing coach is right at the top, but you do the steps to get there.
Well, no, that sounds like what is that approach called again?
It's hugs and sugs, huge, unbelievably great goals.
Yeah.
And small, unbelievably great goals. It's with the Art of Brilliance, Andy Cope.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard of that, so I have to check that out.
I'm going to jot it down.
I know. I'm like, you jot it down, Adam. But yeah, no, I'm going to jot down Art of Brilliance because I remember you mentioning them before too when we've talked in messages.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, definitely have to check them out.
It's all about being the better version of you, the best version of you, as much as you can be.
Yeah, sure.
And even when life throws things at you, you can approach them and tackle them differently than what you would usually tackle them. just with a different mindset. It's
Right.
wonderful.
That's awesome. No, that's so good to hear.
I'm not advertising it. I'm just explaining how I've got to the place that I am now, because I have come from dark places, and
Sure.
I am not the person I used to be. Definitely not.
Right.
So with your story, Tammy, because it sounds like you have, you know, and looking through LinkedIn, you know, seeing you on a board and things like that, I thought I could see even before I started speaking to you that you're like on a journey. You were trying to discover what your path was. Do you feel each kind of stop you've had, I suppose if we call it a stop, has helped kind of carve you to where you are? Do you think, you know, like becoming a wellness coach is ultimately going to be the end of that path for you, or?
I don't think it'll ever be the end of the path. I think I'll always find something else to pursue towards, but I think everything that I've gone through has helped to where I want to be. Definitely.
Yeah,
I think everything's done for a purpose. Nothing's coincidental. It's you're meant to go down these paths to find out where you want to be, really.
Yeah. And where does that belief come from? Because, I mean, I think, you know, I've talked about it a couple of times with Amanda, like this, and I suppose Lydia talked about it in her interview too, this like gut tug kind of mentality, or that the universe is guiding us down this path. You know, where does it come from? Is it through faith, or do you want to unpack that a bit more for us?
Do you know what? I don't know. I think losing my mum 10 years ago, I think it was a massive shock because she was only 48.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I'm 35 now, so I'm 13 years off where my mum would have been. But I think losing my mum, I don't want to be one of these people when my time's up on this earth where you go to a funeral and there's not many stories to tell about someone. Or the things that they've done. I want to be able to have impacted as many people in my lifetime for them to be able to remember all the good things, or be able to tell those amazing stories, and to look back on a life that you think, God, she did a heck of a lot in the time that she was here. So it's not so much a belief, I don't know where I get it from. Something just tells me I have to help people. I feel like I have to help as many people as I can because I can. And if I can come to where I am now, anyone can do it. Absolutely anyone. So if I can help as many people as I can, I think my aim in life is good.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I completely agree 100% with what you're saying. And I think Adam and I kind of live by that same philosophy as well, that if you have, and I'll just say, if you're privileged enough, which I feel like I am, to be able to help others, you have to help others. Because you might not always I might not always be in a spot where I can help other people. So if I'm in a spot right now where I can, then I have to.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No,
it sounds like you're kind of living that same philosophy as well.
Yeah. I'd like to think so anyway.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, and just the fact I think that you have, you're kind of searching for, I don't know why target market is coming in my head, but or target audience, because that's the terms I think in, and that's not the right term in this case, but like you've been searching for the right people to help, or the right people you're trying to target who can benefit the most from your lived experience. And yeah, so that's really been great. Because it sounds like you've kind of landed on the children and the families, but you've gone through a lot of other exploration along the way.
Yeah, I've gone through the communities, I've gone through the elderly, I've gone through the sick. I mean, I cared for my mum that was extremely poorly. I still look after my nan who's 92 with vascular dementia.
Okay.
And it's you at one point will need to be looked after.
Sure.
So if you look after as many people as you physically can, then hopefully when the time comes to you, you'll find someone that's just as kind-hearted and caring as you are. Well, I'd hope so anyway. I mean, the kids might get fed up with me and just have me in a nursing home. Who knows? I might be too much for them, or I might not be, and it might not be one of these elderly people that need the help. Maybe I'll still carry on helping people until my last breath. Who knows? I don't know. I just
Right.
know that I've helped people today, and hopefully if I wake up tomorrow, I'll be able to help more people tomorrow.
Yeah,
Love it.
absolutely. You have any
That's
thoughts,
awesome.
Adam?
Well, I just think it's, it's just something that's very absent in today's society. Someone to have just such clear purpose, because I think that was a big thing for me. I did it the other way around, which was, lose your path, worry about things that don't matter, aka money or ego, etc. And it wasn't until probably the year of COVID, that I actually sat down and had a good think, and I was able to find that same kind of reason for being that you seem to have had for such a long time. So I think it's good, because it would inspire others to probably look inward and think, well, where, can I find that same kind of purpose? So I love it. I think it's great.
I think everyone's got it inside, and I think if you've got a good support network around you, I mean, I'm extremely fortunate to have a partner, a wife that is so supportive. When I've had partners in the past that have always stopped me from believing in myself, and when you have the right person by your side to say you can do this, I think you can just go anywhere as long as you've got that support behind you.
Yeah, that makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Now, what did you? I don't know if you can. This is good. Might throw you for a loop here, because this is kind of an off the wall question. But I'm just wondering, was there something? So when you met your current wife, or your current wife, I was gonna say current partner, but when you met your wife, I was gonna say current partner, but then I'm like, no, you're married now. That's right. We already covered this. No, when you met your wife, was there something particular about her that you knew that she was going to be more supportive? Because what I'm wondering is if we could leave people with something that kind of lets them know that they're with the right person. Or is there some kind of characteristic that you knew that she was going to be supportive?
Just asking how you are, and genuinely being interested in how you are, and saying it's okay not to be okay, and to be open, and to give those hugs that mean something, not just a hug for the sake of it.
Right.
If you're with the right person, you'll just know. Your stomach does the butterflies, and you just know that you're safe with them.
Yep.
And I suppose there's a lot of people in the world that feel like they're safe, but couldn't open up to the deepest, darkest secrets that they might have. And I think if you can find someone that you can open up with the deepest, darkest secrets, then you're going to be okay.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I've had to go through some frogs to find my princess anyway. Let's put it that way.
We all do, don't we?
Yeah.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, exactly. We've both been there. So, or we've all been there, I suppose. Yeah.
And
But
just
I think
a
it helps
question
for
on
people
that,
to know just how, because it is so hard, or I feel like a lot of people do settle in that relationship. And like you said, that kind of sets the stage for how you act in the rest of your life. That person that you're with, because that person helps you create your identity in a way, as Adam and I have talked about before. So.
Yeah, well, I've been in two long relationships. I was with my husband for 10 years.
Okay.
Who I sat in a box because obviously I wasn't attracted to men, but I believed that this was the normal thing to be. And it never sat right, but you just went with it. I was young. I was with him from 16 till 25.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you just settle sometimes because you believe, or you're made to believe, that you're no good, or you can't do any better, or your self-confidence is so through the floor, you just don't bother. And I think the day when you realise, you know what, I am better than this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately, I made the mistake of falling from one, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, crappy relationship into a 6-year relationship with another crappy person.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't learn the first time round, but I did the third time round, third time lucky.
Well, you were still pretty young when the first one ended, so.
Yes.
Really.
And then I stayed in that one until I was 31. So now I'm 35, and I'm in a good place. I feel mentally in a good place. I know I'm worth a lot more than what I used to believe I was worth, and my ideas matter, and how I feel matters too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's not all just about them. It's Yeah.
Well, how much that allows you to
for like a whole hour talking about self-confidence and different things, but you just know when you're with the right person because they pick you up, they don't put you down.
That's right. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yep. Well, and then that just makes you more open to be able to help other people as well. So that's opening you up to your life purpose by having that support behind you. So yeah, it's just really a huge part of the equation there.
Definitely.
What do you
Tammy,
think,
I think
Adam?
that's a huge thing, right? Like a 10-year relationship. And I just think you hit the nail on the head straight away about, you know, societal expectations that you need to settle and you're not good enough and that you're in a box. Like, when did that moment of awakening happen for you to realize, you know, I've settled, I'm in a relationship with someone I don't feel comfortable with? Like, that just sounds like that's just such a huge life kind of moment, I suppose, to kind of wake up from that, I suppose, over time.
Yeah, it was when you had 2 young children.
Oh,
Definitely.
yeah, it makes it really tough too. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I hit 25. A week after my 25th birthday, I thought, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I have to stop. I can't keep being the housewife. I'm not. This isn't just my aim in life. I'm not just a mum. I'm not a stay-at-home mum. I'm so much more. So a week after my 25th birthday, I split up with him, and then 6 weeks later, I lost my mum 2 days before my daughter's 4th birthday. So from having a family to having nothing in 6 weeks. And I think if you can get through that, you can definitely get through anything.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Wow.
Well, and I can feel that because when I split up from my ex-husband, I luckily did have my mom, and she was a huge part of getting me through that. So I can't even imagine what you had to face without having that person to support you. So, you know, that's amazing that you got through that and used it. You know, you're using it now to help other people. And so that's just amazing because you could have let that destroy you, but you chose not to. And not everybody can do that.
For a few weeks, but I've turned it around and made something good from it. Yeah, I think I can use a lot of past experiences. I think I said this in a different meeting. The past fuels the future. And if I can take anything from the past, it's use it to your advantage. Use the bad times that have happened to you to make sure that someone else that might be going down a similar path doesn't go down the rest of the path to see what it comes out of, because you'll know the ending. But if you can change someone else's ending, then it's worthwhile. Yeah,
for sure. Yep.
Yeah.
We need to use that line as the title for one of the videos, The Past Fuels Your Future. I love these little quotes.
Got it. I will jot that down right now. You know, you're right, though.
Definitely.
But I just think that's a really interesting thing. Another question for you, and of course it's as comfortable as you feel in answering it, but I'm just really curious too about, you know, so being in a relationship, and I suppose being in that box you said of being the housewife and feeling that's not you. You've got so much more, you know, to you than that title. So in terms of, you know, when did you realize that, you know, being in a heterosexual relationship, and obviously this is a big question, so it's only as comfortable as you feel, but when did you have that realization? Like, have you always had that, or?
I think I always knew that there was I'll tell you what the doctor said, but I don't think you can use it in your video.
Well, we'll see. Give it a shot.
Yeah, we can tell you.
I'll tell you how I knew I wasn't attracted to heterosexual people, because every time I had intercourse with a man, I would swell up like I'd been kicked in the middle of the legs by a rugby player.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
And the doctor told me I was allergic to men's sperm. So
really?
my body
I've heard of that before, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So your body was really telling you. That. No, I think we can if you're okay with it.
No, that's fine. I'm an open book. Ask me a question and I'll answer it as honestly as I can, as long as it's PG.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I know. I'm pretty much an open book too. So.
But I just knew.
Yeah, well, your body
No, I
knew.
was attracted to
Yeah.
people, but I'd always find myself looking at women as opposed to men.
Mm.
I was never in the mood.
Yeah.
I was a typical paracetamol kind of girl. Oh, I've got a headache.
Right.
One of those. Yeah.
Right. Sure. So did you feel like I mean, I guess you probably just went down that road because that's just what you thought you were supposed to do, because that's just what society and your family and everybody would teach you to do. I mean, is that a
Yeah.
fair statement?
Yeah, definitely. I think people would have seen it as, oh, it's just, I mean, when I broke up from my husband, the responses were, it's just a phase. You'll be back. I was like, this
Wow.
isn't a phase. Why would I split up a 10-year relationship to say, I'm not in love with you anymore. I don't fancy you and I'm a lesbian. Why would I do that? Why would I completely destroy the children's family unit?
Right.
It's not something you take, because I've grown up with a single parent family. I didn't want that for my own children.
Sure.
So it took me a long time to come out to my children because I was so fearful of rejection from them, because I
Right.
didn't think they could understand. But your kids are more accepting than you think they are.
No, I bet. But yeah, I never thought of that angle of it. But yeah, I can imagine how frightening that would be. And
Yeah.
just just not knowing how your children would react. Yeah.
Yeah, because I couldn't tell them straight away. I just said, Mummy didn't love Daddy anymore. Because, I mean, there was 4 and 2 at the time. So my daughter was in reception and my son wasn't even in nursery then.
Okay.
So luckily he didn't really understand anything.
Sure. I know that makes it a lot
As
easier
we got
sometimes.
older, you kind of have to explain a little bit more.
Right.
And I finally came out to him at 5 years ago.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you know what? It was fine. It was absolutely fine. They just said, you know what, Mum? Doesn't change it. My mum said, when I come out to my mum a couple of weeks before she passed away, she said, it doesn't define who you are. You're still my daughter. I still love you. It's just who you're attracted to. It doesn't change you.
Yeah.
It doesn't change your beliefs or your values. It's just a part of you.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Your mum sounds amazing.
I know.
She was a wonderful woman. She went through a lot of bad times, unfortunately, and I think it was too early for her to have gone.
Mm.
Oh, for
Definitely
sure.
too early.
45, yeah, that's so young.
But she taught me a lot with regards to what you are worth.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to settle for the bad, or you don't have to settle for believing you're not anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So she has made me a strong woman, and she's changed my life decisions with regards to, I don't smoke. I haven't drunk alcohol for since losing my mum. I haven't drunk alcohol for 10 years because my mum was an alcoholic, so I've seen all that side of it, and I've seen the domestic violence bit. And I was brought up by my nan.
Okay.
I've never had a dad. I had a sister that didn't like me.
Yeah.
Like I said, we could be here for a long time. There's a lot of issues that I could help you with.
Right. Exactly. Well, but don't you find that the people who have been through hell and back, or however you want to say it, those are the people who end up being the most generous, the most kind, the most giving people, because they know what it's like and they don't want to see other people go down that road. And I feel like that's what I'm getting from you, is that you've been there and you don't want to see anybody else go there.
Yeah, that's why I want to help as many people as I can, because you could go down that road and you could turn out to be the alcoholic that didn't care and was out of pubs or fights or prison. It could have easily gone down that, but you take a conscious decision to say, you know what, I don't want it to go there. And I'm going to do as much as I can. I'm going to invest in my own mental health and well-being and make sure that I can be the best person for the children, my wife, my nan, anyone that I come into contact with. And just give them all of me.
Right.
I don't expect anything back, just a smile or a thank you. That's all. Or just to have helped them somehow, even if it's just getting through that day.
Yep. Yeah, it sounds like that's what keeps you going for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I skip to work. Who skips to work on a Monday? Come on.
Not me, and I love what I do, so.
I saw I saw a comedian, Michael McIntyre, the other day saying how much more efficient it is to actually skip. Like, you obviously look like a bit of a goofball skipping, but it's so much more like, I think, so much more fun than actually running, isn't it? Like, we should all really skip to work.
Yes.
Well, true. It might put you in the right frame of mind. I didn't even think of it that way. Yeah.
But I just love it, Tammy. Like, I mean, that's the whole purpose of why we like just interviewing people, and there's just been a theme throughout everyone we've spoken to, you know, which is just you've taken all that pain, and you know that's like there's so many things in there which must have been so difficult to navigate. But rather than, you know, just bowing out, you know, which I think you could totally understand people struggling and bowing out, you've allowed it to fuel who you are, and you've said, no, I'm not gonna let that get in the way. I'm going to be a role model for my kids. I'm going to live in line with what my mum wanted, you know, from me. Like, I just think it's a very inspiring story, and we probably could talk to you for about 7 hours about each different part, because it is something that people just don't talk about, you know, where I think Adam Carter said last week about, you know, the Instagram glossy culture and how, you know, we very much curate our lives to make us all look like everything's great. And I think it's just important to have this flip side where you say, well, here's all the really difficult things I've been through, but here's where I am now. I think that's a lot more inspiring than Instagram, you know?
Yeah. Instagram's good for crafting. They come up with some crazy things on Instagram.
There you go. Maybe some recipes or something, but yeah, it's not a good place to go to look to how to live your life necessarily.
No, definitely not.
See, that's another quote from Tammy there, you know, just use it for crafting. Don't use it for crafting.
Yes, I like that one. But I'm wondering too, because I'm just kind of keeping an eye on our time here, I am also wondering a little bit about with the nurturing group, or I think that's the right term for it, that you're doing with the children. So it sounds to me like it's almost, is it kind of an intervention where you're trying to get the, and maybe that's not the right term for it, but while you're trying to get to the children while they're young, to give them the emotional intelligence that they need to navigate all these things and similar things maybe to what you've been through. So when they hit them, they're able to navigate them and not go down. Yeah. Is that kind of the goal?
It's an intervention. It's a social and emotional intervention. Is to help the children that can't understand their emotions, to figure them out, what triggers their reaction to a certain thing, and how to handle it safely and better for them. And it's not just like 5-year-olds, it's going to 11-year-olds.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, to help them when they go to high school, to give them a little mental health toolkit to say, you know what, when I'm feeling like this, I can do this, this, and this. To give them little things like breathing to 10, or just stepping away, or just anything to bring their anger level down or their emotions down into a safe place.
Right.
You know what, I really love it. After becoming a qualified TA, I thought, I'll be a TA. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to cover in classes and help with work, but I'd rather be able to help with the mental health side of it, because if you've got good mental health, you produce more and you can focus more in class, and you are better for your friends. You can help them when they're feeling the way you was feeling. You can give them tips, and it's like a ripple effect, isn't it? If you're in a good place, then you can help other people, and then they help other people with what you've told them.
That's right. Yeah.
So I'm just trying to save the world with these children.
No big deal, you know.
Save the world with a few kids here and there.
No, I think we're all trying to save the world here in our own little ways, but
it's just so difficult for kids, and you just see so many children, and I look at them and I think, you know what? I've been through what you're going through, and they don't believe you because they don't believe that a person like you could go through something like that, because you're the happy person that dives into school in the morning with a big smile on your face saying good morning.
Right.
And they can't imagine that you would understand how they would feel.
Right.
But we do understand, and it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And I
That's so
think that's
huge to
really
them.
difficult for some kids to understand that. This is all I know. I just blow my lid and everything turns red, and then I fall into a big heap of mess and just cry, and I can't understand it. And it just takes a couple of adults to say, you know what, this is okay.
Right.
We'll help you, because there's not many people there for kids these days, because the parents haven't got anyone to turn to, because they don't know how to handle life.
Yeah,
So they
exactly.
can't support their kids if they don't know how to handle things.
Right.
So hopefully if we help the children, then the children can help the parents too.
Well, yeah. Adam's posted about that a couple times, about how much we actually learn from our kids. We think we're teaching them everything, but we can learn a lot from them too if we sit and listen and pay attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think they, at that age, they just, and that's probably why, you saying you coming out to your kids, they're so understanding, because they haven't yet gone through all these milestones in life, that kind of shape you and make you think that the world needs to be a certain way. And that's why I'm like constantly watching what my 4-year-old's doing, because just everything she does is just like a lesson. But, if I'm too distracted on my phone or thinking about work or whatever, I'll miss it. And, I don't know. I love posting stories about it. Like when we're going for a walk around the neighborhood, she's like, "Can we go pick flowers, Dad, please?" And, I'm thinking, I want to go down the road and get a coffee. And then I have to step back and go, no, I don't need a coffee. How about I just enjoy the moment picking flowers? Like that's a lesson in itself, like they're. So, yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying about kids.
No. Sounds like a lovely little moment, picking flowers.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn to hula hoop. I'm trying to learn to hula hoop with the children.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah, that's not so easy, I don't think.
No.
Oops, sorry, I cut you off, Amanda.
No, you're fine.
So with that's obviously a lot of like emotional drainage on yourself, like what's your daily routine to try and keep yourself, your energy levels like higher, when you're having to obviously try and lend some of your emotional needs, like emotional support to others?
Well, waking up in the morning and be grateful that you woke up, because how many people that morning have not had the opportunity to open their eyes to see a beautiful day? So just be grateful for the little things, and having sight to see things or to hear the birds. Just the really basic things. Just appreciate every single moment that you're given. Don't waste your time thinking about the weekend. I love reading self-help books, positivity books. I've got so many upstairs. I could name quite a few to you. I love anything that's about happiness, positivity, being grateful, anything that feeds the soul, because I am such a happy person. And putting your feet in the grass. So in the morning, I'll wake up, say my thank yous for getting up. And then it is chaos. I'm not going to lie. It's chaos in the morning when you're trying to get your 2 kids up with your wife and a dog and a nan. And a fish. We have a fish as well.
The fish. Don't forget the fish.
And we get to work, and it's just not taking your day out. Say you've had a rubbish morning, not taking your day out on someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Just giving them a smile, because you don't know what they've gone through that morning, and just forgetting all about it. You think, you know what, this doesn't matter.
Right.
It's trivial. Not taking life so seriously and just enjoying every single moment. And then I come back from a cracking day at work, and then I cook. I love to cook. That's one way to distress. I love cooking. Gardening when it's not raining. I like being in the garden. And just taking time for you, winding down, have a hot chocolate before bed, and then go to sleep.
No, that sounds great.
Lots of walks. I love going for walks. I walk the dogs. I don't just walk our dog. I walk my neighbour's dogs. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going anyway, so.
Yeah. And I've been able to watch my children learn how to skateboard. So when we was in lockdown, my children have learned how to skateboard. So that's something that I wouldn't have been able to have done if I was at work.
Sure.
So I've had that opportunity to see that. But just live the moment, live the now.
Yes, and appreciate, like you said, appreciate the little things, because, you know, I find that's what pulls you out of a lot. I mean, you know, if you're starting to get anxious, or you're starting to feel self-doubt, or you're starting to, I don't know, whatever, have some self-defeating thoughts, as soon as you start thinking about everything that you are grateful for, it really can pull you out of that so quickly. And it's so easy. It's such an easy little habit to implement. So I love that you do that first thing in the morning.
Yes, because you never know. You might wake up one day, you might not be able to see the clouds, or you might not be able to hear the birds.
That's right. There's so much that we take for granted. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's just remembering all those things. Because we do take them for granted, like you say. It's like we take for granted breathing. We don't have to think about breathing. We do it. We don't need to think about it.
Exactly. Well, that's just it. There's so many things that if you stop and think about it, there's so many amazing things that our bodies do, that our world does, that technology can do for us, that it's like, how can you not be happy with all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's my daily routine. Get up, have a bit of chaos, smile, come home, cook.
Chaos.
Come home, cook, have a hot chocolate, go to bed.
Perfect.
Have a walk in between there.
Well, and
I love it. That's great.
No, I was just gonna say, I could tell too, you're focused on the simple things in life, and you know, like the hot chocolate, the watching your kids learn how to skateboard, the cooking, even cooking and gardening are very things that are just so good for your well-being, but yet just something that's so simple and basic. It's something that's so what am I trying to say? It's just so natural to our lives, but we've lost a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think when you've learned to worry about everything, being diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder, you worry about everything. You don't remember to take appreciation for the flowers that are coming up or the sun that's shining on your face. You don't appreciate any of that because you're so busy about worrying what's around the corner or worrying that something's going to happen that might not happen.
Right.
So it's just calming the brain and changing it. Change your way of thinking. And it takes time, and it's not an overnight fix. It's taken a lot of time to get to where I am, but I just keep working on it because you have to work on it because you will forget it.
Well, that's just it. You do, and it takes practice. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But
any other thoughts, Adam?
It's very inspired. I don't know. I've got to stop.
You always say that.
Yeah, I just realized then I was like so unprofessional from an interview point of view because I just sit there being like, oh, people are so cool. Just got to calm down and just be like, yes, let's ask a serious question. No, I think gratitude's a big thing because quite often, you know, I totally know what you mean. You know, you sit back and you look at what you've got in your life, and it's when you sit back and you think, I don't probably need anything else than what I've got right now because, you know, it's simple things. But we have a tendency to start like thinking, oh, you know, what other things do we need? Or let's worry about the future or the past. It's like, no, we should probably just appreciate the now. So I really love it.
Mm-hmm.
So we might chuck over to the non-optional questions.
Yeah,
and
I was thinking, unless Tammy, did you have any other part of your story that we've left out that you wanted to share before we get to the end here?
How much time do you have? I'll say no for that one.
Okay.
But if you ever need anyone to fill in the gap, do call back.
Yes, we will, because we definitely appreciate it, and I'm sure you have a lot more to tell. So, yep.
But I'm interested in just finding out what your favorite food is. So, you know, if you love cooking, what would be your favorite food?
It'd be a fish curry.
Fish curry? Never had that.
Curry. Oh, it's delicious. Homemade fish curry and rice.
Is it very difficult to make?
Not really. Just chuck in a load of spices that you think work well for a curry, a jar of coconut milk, some fish, and you're done. Just let it simmer. I haven't got a recipe for you, I'm afraid. I literally just chuck stuff in.
Yeah, I wish I could do that. I have to have a recipe.
I love it. And what is I suppose we spoke about self-help books, but what's your favorite movie? Do you have a particular movie? If you feel more comfortable there, you can tell us about, your favorite self-help book.
A favorite movie would be 5 Feet Apart.
I never heard of that one.
Movie. Oh,
No,
please watch it. It will make you cry, so you need a box of tissues.
Okay.
But it's
Fair
about,
enough.
I'm not going to tell you everything, but it is about appreciation, about the human touch and how powerful it is.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
Love it.
Got it. I have it written
It's
down.
about
So
cystic fibrosis.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think I've heard of it. Is it on Netflix? Can you stream it somewhere?
I think it is on Netflix, yeah. It is
Yep.
about two people that have got cystic fibrosis,
Okay.
and it's about how they can't hug each other and how they
gosh.
do hug. I know it's very apt for where we're living right now, but it's a powerful film. Very powerful film.
Wow.
And I think that has a bit of an impact on how I am now, because I am very loving and I will hug. And
right.
see, this COVID thing is not good for hugging people. You cannot hug your friends.
Yeah, that's tough, isn't it? I know.
This bump in the air is not the same anymore.
Right.
Yeah, it's true. The whole elbow thing. Do you guys have the elbow thing over there? Is that like a universal thing or just an Australian thing?
We have to do an air high five. We can't actually touch the kids. We're not allowed to touch anything.
Oh, yeah.
It's really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would just hug kids when you would see them.
Oh,
I feel really
course,
sad.
yeah.
What would you do? You just hug them.
Right.
A hug makes everything better.
Yep.
But not at
Yes,
the moment.
you're right.
I'm adapting slowly.
Yeah, it's tricky. Good old COVID-19. It's like, thanks so much for robbing us of that really basic need. And I suppose, what would you say the best piece of advice that you've ever received is, Tammy? Was that from your mum or from a friend? Or
Best piece of advice. It's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
That's the best piece of advice. That's all I've got. It's okay not to be okay, because it's took me a long time to realise it's okay to not be okay.
Well, and that can apply to so many different things, and you can apply that to so many different aspects of your life. That, yeah, it's really a very powerful statement.
Yeah. So that would be my only one piece of advice. I've got lots, but
oh yes, I can imagine. Yeah,
paramount one, yeah, standout one.
No, that's awesome. Well, I will wrap things up then at this point. So, Tammy, thank you so much for being here. First of all, we've been looking forward to this for a long time, and I think it went great. We don't have anything we have to edit out, so we're good.
It's been lovely meeting you both after chatting for so long. So thank you ever so much for giving me an opportunity.
Thank you, Tammy.
To talk to you both.
Yeah.
And sorry it's so late. I know it's 10 o'clock over there right now, isn't it? 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
It is 10 o'clock, yeah.
Thanks for staying up.
Yes.
Oh, no, you're welcome. It was definitely worth it. And thank you for getting up.
No worries.
I know. Yeah, and if there's
your daughter.
Oh, see, I've only got my daughter 3 nights a week, so she's with her mum. Because otherwise she'd be in the background taking over the show right now if she was here.
We'll have to have our kids on sometime, because that'd be fun to see what they act like. But no, Tammy, anytime too. If you want to share something else, you let us know. Whatever you want to share, we're here.
You've got my number and my email. Should you need to contact me, I'm more than happy to help. And it helps me because it helps the nerves. So thank you.
It does. It does. It makes it easier. Well, and that'll transfer into your coaching and everything. So it's awesome. So I will say to the audience then that you can find us. Oh, I should say, where can people find you, Tammy? Mainly on LinkedIn, or is there anywhere else we should tell people to look for you?
You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, but I don't tend to add many people on Facebook.
All right, perfect. All right, so you can find us on LinkedIn, of course, and we are on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We are on Podbean. We are on Amazon Music. That's it right now, but we're working on it. We're working on getting more places. Of course, we're on Coffee, which is where, if you are so generous, you can donate to getting Adam some lighting so that I can actually see him. But I was starting to be able to see you now. The sun's starting to come up a little bit. But no, we appreciate Tammy. We appreciate our audience appreciate Adam. So I'm in the appreciation mode after talking with Tammy. But all right, so with that, I will say cheers to not settling.
Thanks so much. Thanks,
All
Tammy.
right, thanks.
Take care.
See you
Thank
guys.
you. Take care.
So,
Yeah.